Hi kids! I have a question. Where do you study? What? I can't hear you. Ah! Salle University. Wow, it's so big and comfy. But do you want to know about the owner of the school? Well, for this video, kids, we will be telling you about the beginning of Reims. Let's go!
Beginning in Reims. Spring of 1679. At the age of 28, John Baptiste de La Salle was slowly adopting the routine and lifestyle of a young priest. A chance encounter at the convent of the Sisters of the Child Jesus with schoolmaster Adrian Neal. Adrian Neal was a layman who had worked in Rouen for many years, providing schooling for the poor. John Baptiste de La Salle invites both Adrian Neal and his 14-year-old apprentice into his home on the Rue Sainte Marguerite. On April 15, 1679, the first Christian school for the poor boys of Reims was opened in the parish church. With the help of De La Salle, and its teachers were supervised and trained by Adrian Neal. A wealthy widow named Catherine Levesque agreed to provide 3 classes and salary for the teachers. She was convinced by Adrian Neal. Using the name of De La Salle. Teachers hired by Adrian Neal moved into a house that was rented by De La Salle for 18 months. Easter in 1680. John Baptiste de La Salle takes the struggling group of teachers into his home for meals and meetings. This is considered the founding of the Institute of Brothers of the Christian schools. De La Salle became more involved with the teachers. He found himself becoming drawn into a different world. The world of poor. Spring of 1680, De La Salle successfully passed the examination for the doctorate in theology at the University of Reims. John Baptiste de La Salle resumed the guardianship of his siblings. Holy Week of 1681. De La Salle called the teachers for a spiritual retreat in his home. On June 24, 1681, the lease ran out on the rented house. De La Salle had to move the teachers into his home. after having the advice of Nicolas Barry in Paris. And his family was not happy. Meanwhile, on August 1, 1681, the sale of house and properties of De La Salle was ordered by the courts. On June 24, 1682, De La Salle and his teachers moved into a rented house on the Rue Neuve, and this house becomes the cradle of Institute. On September 1682, the teachers asked De La Salle to be their confessor and adopt community prayer practices. They also decide to call themselves brothers. On August 16, 1683, De La Salle resigns his position as canon of the cathedral in Reims and give the position to John Faubert. Tragic famine in the winter of 1683 to 1684. De La Salle begins to give food for the poor of the city of Reims. In September 1684, the teachers adopt the name Brothers of the Christian Schools and adopt a dress code, a waisted jacket with white rubbah, and to protect themselves from the cold, they wore heavy mantles. Adrien Neil asked to retire in Rouen, and De La Salle becomes the leader and director of the growing network of schools. On March 23, 1686, De La Salle called the 12 principal brothers for a retreat in Reims, and they pronounced their vow of obedience. On June 10, 1686, De La Salle and their brothers walked on a journey of faith for 8 hours to Notre Dame de Lisieux. They renewed their vows to Our Lady of Lisieux, derived from Laetitia, which means joy. Meanwhile, on June 24, 1688, De La Salle and 2 brothers arrived in Paris at the invitation of the pastor of the parish of Saint Sulpice to begin work at the parish school on Rue Princess 3 days later. And on April 1688, the pastor of Saint Sulpice, Father Labamonder, decides to turn the administration of the school on Rue Princess to the brothers and John Baptiste de La Salle.